Hi. So in the last video, I mentioned reality. Interesting topic. And I'm going to talk about the reality. What am I talking about? The reality that nothing ever happened. Goodness me, how is that even possible? Through meditation, you can become more and more present. When you become more and more present and less addicted to thinking, when thinking you start to realize is thoughts about the future or the past. So you're not actually present, you're not actually here. So when you start to realize that you're not thinking and you can have this natural ability to maintain the awareness of now, then you realize that this experiencing of now starts to stretch and is eternal. It just simply is. And there's no time frame bracketing it. There's no this moment in between the past and the future, right? It's not like there's this line and that's the past, this is the present, and this is now and that's the future. Yeah, that's the past, this is the present, and that's the future. That's on a timeline, and that doesn't actually exist. That's mentally created. But when you recognize this moment, it becomes this eternal moment. It becomes this constant now because you're constantly present to now. And now, and now. So it becomes this constant awareness. What you're really doing is breaking the idea of the time and the past and the future and resting into the glory of now. Recognizing that in its totality and its simpleness and its naturalness. Very cool. That's what meditation does. And so then, what is it? Nothing ever happened. Okay. So when we talk about the past and the future, we're talking about things happening. We can see the sun rise, we see the sunset, all that. So there's all this stuff that's moving. But to actually recognize what doesn't move and what's constant and continuous is this experiencing of the eternity, of the eternal. And when you start to recognize that and rest into it, you can be living in the moving world, the world of change, but not of it, meaning you're recognizing the eternal. And so when you're recognizing more and more this moment and dancing and playing and living life beautifully from this moment, there comes this realization that nothing's ever moved. And that it actually is, you have to go into time to actually recognize movement. Is that good or bad? Who cares? But it's none of it's right or wrong, but it's consciousness. If you're playing the game of awakening or playing the game of consciousness or playing the game of waking up or who am I or enlightenment, whatever word you want to put on it, these are the experiences you can have. And it's very, very simple and natural, actually. But to move from the state of fear and anxiety and, what's the purpose of my life? What's the meaning of all of this? Which is just, a lot of stress. You move into this experiencing of the eternal, which is stress-free because you're not thinking. And what I love about that is it's your choice. It's my choice to either live in a stressful life or a non-stressful life. And if my choice is that, well, then I know what I'm going to pick. And to have no stress means there's no problems. To have no stress means that there's just perfection here. And when you start to realize that perfection is existing right now, it kind of changes your relationship to everything and your desire of where you wish to put your attention and who you want to be. Because I prefer to be a stress-free, living in perfection person rather than a stressful, crazy person. That's my preference. So the reality that nothing has ever moved, nothing's ever happened means that you're existing and living in this continuous moment, which means you're completely in the heart of God, resting now, living now, and it's absolute perfection. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? It's real.